What's up, guys? Alvaro here. Welcome to the Bilingual Stock Market channel again. On this channel, we talk about the markets and we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. And in this video, I want to break down some technicals, so I want to go over the S&P 500, Nasdaq 100, and Russell 2000 in order to try to figure out what could be potentially happening in the markets next week. I also want to show you guys the most anticipated earnings that are coming out next week. And at the end of the video, I am going to break down from a technical standpoint AMC Entertainment, Best Buy, Wkhs, and good old Atossa Therapeutics. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. And first of all, guys, keep in mind that next week we have the Jackson Hole Economic Symposium taking place. This is pretty much a central bankers meeting that takes place once a year, and this meeting is held by the Federal Reserve of Kansas in the city of Wyoming. However, the Federal Reserve announced last Friday that this year's meeting is going to be virtual, is going to be online because of COVID-19 restrictions, and on Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to have Mr. Jerome Powell talking about the economy. So we can make the case that next Friday's trading session is going to be a wild one. And the big question here is the Federal Reserve or Mr. Jerome Powell going to announce the beginning of a tapering process on Friday? If you ask me, in my, taking into account my personal opinion, what I think, I don't think so, guys. I could be mistaken. Maybe Jerome Powell could talk about tapering on Friday, but I do believe that the beginning of the tapering process is going to be announced during the next Federal Open Market Committee that is going to take place in September. I think on September 21st and September 22nd, but we need to keep a close watch on, obviously, the Federal Reserve next Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when it comes to the most anticipated earnings for this week, so tomorrow, before open, we have JD.com reporting earnings. I think that's the most interesting earnings report tomorrow. Then on Tuesday, and we are going to break down from a technical standpoint the stock of this company. We have Best Buy before open, and after close we have Intuit, we have Nordstrom. What else did I see on Tuesday? That's it. Then on Wednesday we have Dick's Sporting Goods, we have Express, we also have after close. After close on Wednesday arguably is going to be the most interesting earnings, let's say, afternoon report of next week, because we're going to have CRM, Salesforce. We are also going to have Snowflake reporting earnings, Ulta Beauty, and what else did I see on Wednesday? That's it. So watch out for those reports on Wednesday. Then on Thursday before open, we have XPeng. This is a company, an electric vehicle manufacturer from China that has a lot of bulls out there. So XPeng is reporting earnings on Thursday before open. Then we have Dollar General, we have Dollar Tree, Cody, Burlington, and TD Ameritrade, all right, on Thursday before open. Then after close, we have Peloton, Workday, Gap, Hewlett Packard, Dell Technologies. And that's it, guys. For the most part, it is going to be an interesting week in terms of earnings reports. We have a bunch of interesting companies reporting earnings, such as Peloton, XPeng, CRM, Snowflake, Ulta Beauty, Intuit, Nordstrom, Best Buy. So watch out for these earnings reports that are coming out next week. And when it comes to the S&P 500, this index went up on Friday 0.81%, and it closed last Friday's trading session at 4,441 points, 44.41. And the price action that we saw on Friday was very, but very bullish, guys, because the bulls were able to take on the area of overhead resistance in which they failed on 3 occasions on last Thursday at 44.17. Take a look at how the bulls failed on 1, 2, and 3 occasions. So here we can see on the 5-day, 5-minute that pretty much the next important area of overhead resistance is going to be 44.50, which is an area in which the bulls failed on last Wednesday, right? Yeah, on last Wednesday. So watch out for 44.50. That is going to be the next important area of overhead resistance. And if that area of overhead resistance happens to be broken to the upside, guys, then pretty much we are talking about all-time high in the S&P 500 at 44.80. In terms of support, the most immediate area that we need to keep a close watch on is going to be 44.17, a previous area of resistance that was broken to the upside, and that I just told you guys that the bulls failed on 3 occasions at 44.17 on Thursday. So that is going to be the most important area of lower support in case that we see some sort of drop in the S&P 500. If 44.17 happens to be broken to the downside, then obviously the next important area of lower support is going to be at 4,400. And when it comes to the NASDAQ 100, let me pull up here. I want to pull up, in the case of the NASDAQ 100, the 4-hour chart. Let me get it here. Let me zoom in here. And the first thing that is worth pointing out is the relative strength index of the NASDAQ 100. It is at 55 points, so this index is neither oversold nor overbought. It is looking very, but very healthy from a technical standpoint. And take a look at how the price action that we saw on Friday, guys, was very bullish. First of all, the bulls managed to take on 15,000 points, all right, to the upside. That's a very important area of lower support that was broken to the downside on Thursday. But the bulls not only took on 15,000 points, they also took on the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, near 15,050 points. And the NASDAQ 100 closed at 15,092 points, going up on Friday 1.06%. So in terms of overhead resistance, the next important spot that we need to keep a close watch on tomorrow and in the course of next week is going to be pretty much at 15,150 points. That's an area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of the NASDAQ 100 already failed on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions before. And if that area of overhead resistance happens to be taken on, watch out for the bulls paying a visit to good old all-time high. In the case of the NASDAQ 100 at 15,184 points, we are obviously on a clear uptrend. Now we are trading once again above the moving averages, both the 180 SMA and the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So the NASDAQ 100 is looking impeccable from a technical standpoint, and it looks like we're very likely, guys, to see all-time high during the course of next week. And when it comes to the Russell 2000, the Russell had a very positive day on Friday. I think that the Russell was actually the best performing, I was going to say sector, the best performing index on last Friday's trading session. And take a look at this, guys, because in the video that we posted on last Thursday, I told you that the fact that the bulls couldn't hold into the closing bell on last Thursday, the critical area of lower support at 2,160 points. I told you that that was, from a technical standpoint, very negative for the bulls of the Russell 2000. However, that area of lower support at 2,160 points was reconquered on last Friday because the Russell closed last Friday's trading session at 2,167 points, going up 1.80%, 1.65%. A very positive day for the Russell 2000. So watch out for this area of lower support. Remember, guys, that when we talk about 2,160 points, we are talking about a former area of lower support that has already acted as such for the Russell 2000 on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 occasions since February. And we are also talking about a former area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of the Russell failed back in late January. And we are also talking about the lower line of this horizontal channel in which the Russell has been trading since early February. So the next task for the bulls of the Russell 2000 is going to be taking on the moving averages on the 4-hour chart. The 50 SMA at 2,212 points, and then the 180 SMA at 2,250 points. So very good job for the bulls of the Russell 2000 because they took on 2,160 points. And let's see if the bulls can take on these moving averages during the course of next week. And now let's go ahead and take a look at AMC Entertainment. And in the case of AMC, the stock of this company went up on Friday 1.74%, and it closed last Friday's trading session at $34.41. So I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart, and in technical terms, guys, we have two very important spots over here. The first one, lower support, $31.50 or $32-ish. We are talking about a former area of lower support that acted as such on Friday, but it also acted as lower support for the bulls of AMC back on July 19, and it also did it back on July 15. So any visit, guys, of AMC Entertainment down to $32, and if AMC happens to find a good support over there, in my opinion, is clearly an entry price for AMC Entertainment. And in terms of overhead resistance, we have a clear overhead resistance at $38-ish, all right? $38-ish is a previous area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of AMC failed back on August 17. We are also talking about a former area of lower support that acted as such in late July and early August, but we are also talking about a spot that provided support for the bulls of AMC in early June. And also, you guys can see over here on the 4-hour chart that the 180 SMA is coinciding with this previous area of overhead resistance and support near $38. So watch out for AMC tomorrow, guys, paying another visit down to $32 and finding a good support over there, because as I just said, that's an entry price zone, no doubt about it. And if we purchase shares of AMC at $32 and we sell those shares at $38-ish, we could be potentially locking in a profit of 17%. So watch out for AMC tomorrow. And if we take a look at the RSI, guys, it is at 48 points. Very healthy from a technical standpoint. The AMC is neither oversold nor overbought, so it is looking very attractive from where I sit. And now let's go ahead and take a look at Best Buy, guys. And mind you, in the case of Best Buy, which ticker symbol is BBY, I don't like playing earnings, guys. That's not my style. By the way, let me show you this, guys, because I never play earnings, but take a look at what I did with Foot Locker. I played earnings with Foot Locker, and I ended up making $600, guys, because I have been going to shopping malls here in Charlotte, and guys, there are so many people buying at Foot Locker. You know, people are lining up outside the the stores of Foot Locker, and I thought to myself, like, I think that this company is going to report way better than expected earnings, because the stores are packed, and I happened to be right. So on August 17, I purchased 100 shares at $54.74, paying $5,474, and I sold out of these shares pre-market, I think, on Friday at $60.18. Foot Locker absolutely killed on earnings. They killed it, guys. They reported way better than expected earnings by something like 120%. So I happened to be right. My perspective was right. So I ended up selling out of these shares, being paid $6,018. So I ended up making $600 here. And mind you, guys, I am a customer of Best Buy, and I think that we have the very same situation that I perceived in the case of Foot Locker. The stores of Best Buy are packed. I actually give this company a lot of business, and I think that this company is going to report way better than expected earnings, so I am going to play earnings with Best Buy, no doubt about it. And mind you, this is also a dividend stock, so if my play happens to go the other way, I don't mind holding 50 or 100 shares of Best Buy for, I don't know, for 2 or 3 months. So I am aware of the risk involved. So let's go ahead and take a look at the last 2 earnings reports of Best Buy. And the stock of this company went up on Friday 2.61%, and it closed last Friday's trading session at $112.63. So the second to last earnings report of Best Buy came out on February 25th, and after that report came out, Best Buy, the stock of this company went down something like 7.82%. Almost 8%, let's say. And the last earnings report of Best Buy was posted back on May 26th, and the stock of this company didn't do much. Let me see. I mean, it went up actually. Yeah, it went up 8%. Yeah, and after having gone up 8%, it pretty much traded sideways. So I believe that this company is going to report, as I just said, way better than expected earnings. So if tomorrow, guys, if the stock of Best Buy happens to pay a visit down to $112, that is going to be a spot in which I am going to be picking up, as I just said, 50 or 100 shares of Best Buy. Check this out, $112 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Best Buy on 1, 2, 3, and 4 occasions before. And we are also talking about a former area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Best Buy felt back on July 16th. So if I happen to open this trade, as I just said, at $112, then the next important area of overhead resistance, and therefore my price target in order to close this trade, is going to be pretty much at $120. $120 is an area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Best Buy already felt back on August 11th. They also felt back on June 1st, and they also felt back on March 29th. So if I were able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, as I just said, picking up 50 or 100 shares of Best Buy at $112, and if I can take this trade the way that I am describing it, selling out of these shares near $120, which, mind you guys, I believe that if Best Buy happens to report way better than expected earnings, this gap could be easily filled. So in that case, I could be locking in a profit of almost 6%. So watch out for good old Best Buy paying a visit tomorrow down to $112, $112.50, because in that case, I am going to be picking up, as I just said, 50 or 100 shares of Best Buy. And now let's go ahead and take a look at good old Wkhs. Ticker symbol WKHS. And in the case of Wkhs, the stock of this company had a positive day on Friday. It went up 2.30%, and it closed last Friday's trading session at $8.90. Wkhs trades inside the Russell 2000, so thanks to the fact that the Russell had a positive day, then that affected also the stock of this company in a positive way. So check this out, guys. As I just said, Wkhs closed last Friday's trading session at $8.90. So we have an important area of overhead resistance that is coming up for the bulls of Wkhs near $9.44. $9.44 is a price that coincides with the 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, and we are also talking about a former area of lower support that already acted as such for Wkhs back in late May and also back in early June, and it also did it back in early May. So if Wkhs, guys, happens to be able, if the bulls of Wkhs can take on this area of overhead resistance near $9.61, and if I start to see a process of consolidation slightly above that level, I am going to be tempted in order to pick up 100 or 200 shares of Wkhs, in which case my price target is going to be the next important area of overhead resistance at $13. $13 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such for Wkhs back in early June. It also did it back in early April, and lastly, it did it back in early March. So picking up, as I just said, 100 or 200 shares of Wkhs slightly above the area of overhead resistance that I just told you at $9.50 each. So let's say that we pick up some shares at $9.80. And if we sell out of those shares at $13, we could be potentially locking in a profit of 26%. So watch out for Wkhs, guys, in the course of the upcoming week, taking on the $9.30 or $9.40 and starting to consolidate slightly above that level, because in that case, that could be a sign from a technical standpoint that the bulls are gathering strength in order to fill the gap up to $13 per share. And the last stock of this video is going to be a stock that you guys tell me to go over left and right. My goodness, Atossa Therapeutics. And this is a Spanish stock, guys, that has a lot of bulls out there. And Atossa went up on Friday 1.88%, and it closed last Friday's trading session at $3.26. So I am going to zoom in here on the 4-hour chart, and there is something very positive, guys, that happened on last Friday's trading session. So the bulls of Atossa managed to take on this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart near $3.13. That's very positive. And when we talk about $3.17 each, we are talking about a former area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Atossa failed back in mid-May, and they also failed back in February. So if tomorrow, guys, I happen to see Atossa starting to consolidate slightly above this area of overhead resistance, let's say that Atossa starts to close hourly at $3.34, $3.40, that could be a good sign from a technical standpoint that would be telling us that the bulls of this company, of the stock of this company, are gathering momentum in order to make a push higher and potentially pay a visit to the next important area of overhead resistance at $3.80. $3.80 is a previous area of lower support that already acted as such back in late July, also back in mid-July, and it also did it back in June. So if we were able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, let's say picking up some shares at $3.30 each and selling out of those shares at the area of overhead resistance that I just told you, near $3.70 or $3.80, we could be locking in a profit of 12%. And if we take a look at the relative strength index on the 4-hour chart, it is at 49 points. Very, but very healthy. So watch out for Atossa Therapeutics starting to consolidate slightly above $3.20. And with Atossa, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to the channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the markets, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses, it is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.